God wants us to spread, to increase, to be wealthy. He says, my kingdom, my city through prosperity shall be established. He wants us to have influence, create influence.
You're listening to Dominant Voice by Pastor Lanre, Ajanaku.
You see people who are not right, and you buy up businesses and solve the challenge of mankind. So it was not the child that was concerned to God. What they were trying to find out was what's up there. But now we found it. Are we right? Through the rocket, people have gone into space, they've gone into the moon, they've seen these different galaxies. So what they were trying to find out was not a concern to God, but it was against the purpose of God. God wants us to multiply and increase and spread. That is why it is not right for any child of God to be stagnant. God is not happy with you. If you're on the same spot last year, you're on the same spot this year, no. You must continue to expand and to increase and to flourish. Are you there?
Amen.
Tell me you got it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, what God now said, no, I don't want to do this. But look at what the scripture says. Thank you. You see why I said everybody should move forward? So we don't get distracted. So, God now said, hey, whatever these people, they have proposed, which is their subconscious mind has been able to hold, will eventually come to pass. That they will eventually build it. And they will spread. But not one thing that I put in block letter there, that I highlighted. He said, the tower which the Son of Man had built. Did you see that? God called those things that be not as though they are. He didn't say they are building. God knew that it was going to be real. So he knew, so it was not a mistake. He said the tower they had. Had means it's already been done.
Amen.
They had built. Then he now said, indeed the people are one, and this that they have begun to do will not be withheld from them. Is this a confusion? No. God knows that whatever you have imagined, whatever idea that has come to you, as far as God is concerned, it is done. It is you and I that are actually stopping the process. Once you can conceive it, and it has entered into you, I want to build an institution. I want to have this. I want to have that. God says it's already done. He had. God says that's already done. But it is you that is walking through the process. Oh, are you there?
Yes.
It's you that you're already walking through the process. Immediately you have proposed it, boom, God says it's done. Now it is you that are now walking through the process to get to where you are. Are you there? Yes. Dominion Voice, Christian Outreach, had been before it started.
Amen.
It had been. Next month, it's going to be 2 years. It's going to be about some time. Now, it's going to be 2 years next month, just like this.
Yeah.
And next month is going to be another sometime. We just have the teaching, and then we're going to have so much of worship. We're just going to worship. We're just going to worship and bless God. And for people who are listening at home, several times I have people say, oh, I watch it at home on Facebook. And you're in Edmonton. You're going to go worship at home. Come here next month and come worship. Say amen.
Amen.
Yeah. A lot of people tell me, oh, I was watching on TV. I watched watching on Facebook. It blessed me so much. Don't stay at home next month. Yeah. Come here. Yeah. Let's worship together. Amen. Amen. So, Dominion Voice had been before we started. Amen. It had been. That organization you are thinking about, it's already existed. It had been. But it's you that are working through the process. It's you that is working through the process. So ideas, they come. Ephesians chapter 3 verse 20 says, now to him who is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all you are able to ask and think. Is that what the scripture says? No. It didn't say ask and think. If it had been ask and think, I mean, the two of them must work together. He says ask or think, which says, by implication, that means what you say or what you think is as potent as what you say. Are you there? What you think. That is why a lot of people, they are always thinking that I'm going to be broke. I'm going to be broke. Even if you have so much wealth with you, it's a matter of time you'll be broke. Because your thoughts is as effective as the spoken word. That's why the scripture says, guide your heart with all diligence, for therein springs for the issues of life.
Amen. Yes.
Don't think whatever you don't want on your wealth. This is where a lot of people struggle. Don't think what you don't want, because you attract to yourself the prominent thoughts that is in you. Don't think what you don't want to see. Don't think what you don't want to see in your life. So, if you are feeling sad, check your thought. You are thinking something that is not right. Are you there?
Yeah.
Your feeling is a result of your thoughts. That's why your thought is important. If you are feeling happy, your feeling is a reflection of your thoughts. So your imagination is extremely important. Sound ideas rule the world. People with ideas are the highest paid. Go check it anywhere. People with ideas, they are the highest paid. People who come out with creative ideas. People who created the internet, they are the highest paid. They are always thinking, having ideas. Now when we talk of the mind are in three phases. Number one, your memory. Number two, your contemplation. Number three, your imagination. Your memory, that part of your mind that helps you to recall what you ate yesterday. That helps you to recall what you went through 2 years ago. That's your memory. You're recalling them. Now when you are driving and you want to go to a place and you're getting to a crossroad and you say, oh, which way should I go? Do I go through Anthony Ende or I go through the city? You say, oh, what are you doing? You are contemplating. You want to take a decision. Now, the decisions you make in life are the things that determines our destiny. Our choices. Wrong decisions accumulate to wrong things. Are you there?
Yes.
So, when you are contemplating, when you are thinking, make sure you are thinking properly. Contemplation. And then the last phase of your mind is your imagination. That is the part that helps you to bring pictures. When an architect wants to, when you want to build a house, you engage the service of an architect. The architect asks you, what kind of a house do you want? So, okay, I want a 5-bedroom house. He says, okay, where would you want your living room to be? What he's trying to do is trying to throw up your imagination. He wants to enter into your mind. To bring out what is in your mind. Any structure, any beautiful invention that you see is a product of somebody's mind. I tell my children many times when they love some particular programs and they want to get stuck to the TV, and I tell them, you guys, shut down the TV, go do some reading. They say, oh no, they get a little bit grumpy. And you know what I tell them? I say, you are looking at the imagination of somebody. When will people start watching your own imagination as well? Are you there?
Yeah.
Because every program you see, every sport you watch, is a product of somebody's imagination.
Yeah.
When you say, oh, that movie is about a very wonderful movie, it's a product of somebody's mind. So my question to you, when you are going to build wealth, is when will we start seeing, reading, and watching your imagination? You are in music. When will you've sung a lot of music. We've sung a lot of worship songs. When will we start reading or singing your own song? You read books. When would we start reading your own book?
Amen.
You are employed today.
Amen.
When would we start seeing your own company? Are you there?
Yes.
When would we? That shirt you are wearing, this jute suit you're wearing, those shoes you're wearing, is a product of somebody's imagination. If that is the line that God has called you into, When would we see your own design of shoes? Versace, Gucci. When will we see your own Tommy, Larry, Josh, Calvin? Oh, we see Calvin Klein already. We're going to see Calvin. Then we see Dawn. Are you there?
Yeah.
I mean, that is the intangible wealth. Ideas, imagination, strong imagination, strength of imagination. When would we? Immediately you imagined it, and that idea pops into you, heaven has noted it, that it is done. So it's now you that you have to now sit back and work out the process. And that may involve you having to stay sleepless nights. You stay awake. You are thinking every day, what else can I do to improve? We talked about excellence last week. Shay did a fantastic teaching on that. And we had a teaching on that last week. I would advise you, go read it. Excellence, we talked about it last month. Excellence attracts. Excellence. Excellence. So we talked about it a lot. So go look at it. How can I improve? How can I exceed in what I am doing? These are real important things. Ideas. Listen to me carefully. That idea that has been dropped in your heart, that you have not done anything about, if you don't act on it so quickly, it's going to drop into somebody else's mind. Yeah. And then you will go to the shop one day and say, wow, this idea actually came to me. And you say, wow. I say, well, I gave it to you, but you did nothing about it. Yeah. So I'm giving it to somebody else. Yeah. Are you there? I know many of us might have experienced it. You're really nodding, say, yeah, that's true. If you don't act on it, ideas are like the dews that falls from the heaven. It comes on you. And then you have to quickly write it down. Yeah. Now when you write it down, before you discuss with anybody, first of all, breathe on it. We're still going to talk about that in the next one of the meditate. Think about it. Do you know why you have to first of all breathe upon it? You have to breathe upon it so that it will take roots in you first. Because the person you speak with, who does not have that idea or does not see what you have seen, will say, oh, forget it, it can't work. Do you know Michael Faraday, who discovered electricity? Do you know how many times he failed before he got it right? I was reading some time ago, an interview, a reporter came to him and said, how many times did you fail? He said, no, I didn't fail. He said, you want to say, how many times did I improve on it before I got it right? Because you have not failed on the idea until you give it up. Many of us, while we were in high school, we have failed one exam or the other. Am I right? But you didn't just give up. You didn't give up. A young baby that is born will first crawl. But when the baby tries to walk, what will she may fall. But the baby, the first time he falls, is now saying, mommy, I can't walk. What do you say to the baby? It's probably a 3-year-old or 3. So get off the ground. Get your butt off the ground and come and walk. If 3-year-old child says falls and says, I'm not going to walk again. So what's wrong with you? Get up. That's the same way it is. For the fact that you have tried that idea in one single way, it didn't work, go back and think. And think. Now listen to me carefully. Every idea that comes to you to create one wealth or the other already has an existing opposition. The opposition to that idea will not be created when that idea came. Those oppositions are there. The oppositions are, there's no fund. How will you get it out? Nobody will see it. Nobody will buy it. What are you trying to talk about? It can't work. You have 1,001 reasons. But you have to knock those things off. Ideas rules the world. If Bill Gates had ignored the idea that came to him via Microsoft, we would never have known. Do you know Bill Gates was first of all admitted into the university, into Harvard University, to study law. Before he dropped out from the university, from the college, said, I'm not going to study law again, and followed the idea that came to him. And he called a friend, a more senior friend. At the age of 15, he got that idea, and he called a friend who was 17 years old, Lanre. So age is not age is not a barrier. And he called Allen. And they came together and they began to develop Microsoft. And when they developed to a point, they put a trademark on it and patented it, and they began to sell it. IBM called to employ Bill Gates. I want you to go and read it. I want you to go and read it. Go and read this story. And you will realize that there is nothing called impossible. Limitation and impossibility is where? In the mind. And that's why God says our God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all you are able to ask or imagine. Your imagination is very powerful. An idea, don't play with it. Don't play with it. That's the real intangible wealth. It comes from intangible to tangible. We proclaim blessings through the words. Curses come through words. Blessings come through words. So, there is one thing we call the Father's blessing.